So hi guys, in this video I'm just gonna quickly show you how OpenTelemetry works with ASP.NET Core, with auto instrumentation and distributed tracing. So first we need to start with cloning the repo. I have it already cloned now, and to demonstrate what we are going for, let's start the Docker Compose. Of course, in production, this is going to be deployed in whatever orchestration system that you're going to use. But to demonstrate the capability, we will be using Docker Compose. So it is now building the C# application, which is inside here. A brief overview of what's happening here. This is just a minimal API of the C#. I mean the a minimum project for the web API template, and then we just had OpenTelemetry added, and it sends data to the collector service in Docker Compose at 4317. So this is the only thing different. And in the controller, we did add a minor thing here. So just to simulate an activity that is going on and a task delay of 1 second. And so we have activity 1 and then another activity that causes another delay of 1 second. This could be called to mediator or whatever. It totally depends. This is just for demo purposes, and then the results are made here, returned to the user. This is part of the default template, and this was inserted. So these are the only things that were added. And then here in Docker Compose dev.yaml, we have first created the build for the app. So this is the app service, and then the collector. This is the telemetry collector from the OpenTelemetry project, and we have reference to the OpenTelemetry collector config, which we'll discuss later. Tempo is a subproduct of Grafana that is, I believe, geared towards distributed tracing. And then Grafana itself, the dashboard, and we expose the dashboard at port 3000. Moving on to the configuration for Tempo. So just we configure it to listen for 3200, and it has a storage, just storing stuff in the local in this area. But there is a guide as well on how to deploy Tempo on Kubernetes or whatever deployment approach you need to take to deploy Tempo. So this is our basic implementation of Tempo, and we receive data from OTLP. And so we now go to OpenTelemetry collector config, and in here we inform that we receive data using default settings, and then in the exporter we have a basic logging for exports, but what's relevant here is that we forward to this receiver on the Tempo service. This is the Docker Compose Tempo service here, and on port 4317, and that is here and insecure. So what's happening then is if we start the application, let me pull up the application that we have here and try out executing the API. As you notice, it takes quite some time, 2 seconds, because of the 1 second delays. So we can run that again. And if we go to Grafana, which was exposed on 3000, we can go to data sources, Tempo, exploring tempo, we can put here the service, and that is because in Grafana diagnostics config, we have the my service, which was referred to in program.cs. This one, diagnostics config activity source, the service name, and we can set the weather forecast, for example, and then try to run this query. So we can see now that in the last 1 hour, there were 2 requests, and we can see here that this particular service had 2 activities, activity 1, then activity 2, and then you can also break down activity 1 with attributes, show the attributes. So these are custom data you want to add. So for perhaps logging purposes, Buzz has 1, 2, 3, and you can also check that in here. So this is the tag Buzz 1, 2, 3, and stop hello world. Those are just random examples. So uh, stop hello world, and you can break down how much time it took. So you can see here that this activity is 1 second, while the weather forecast is 2.01 second. Since we are using ASP.NET Core, this is automatic. We get this information immediately, and along with that, we get which flavor of HTTP method, scheme, status code, user target, host name, and the kind of information we typically get by default with regards to the URL request. So this part at least was automatically added by the OpenTelemetry here in program.cs, here under add ASP.NET Core instrumentation. So that's where we get that data from. For now, this is all. Thank you.